What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Other Options, favorite nerd. Today we are looking at ToyWorld Sludge. This is on loan to me from Joe KW. He's been following the reviews and knew I was doing a lot of Dinobot reviews, so he had the ToyWorld ones and asked if I was interested in taking a look. I said absolutely. And he's a Maryland guy, so he came through, hung out, we broke bread, became best friends and all that kind of stuff, and he left this with me to take a look at, along with a few other things that we're also going to get to. Without further ado, let's talk about him. As far as I know, this is the only accessory he comes with. At least that's the only one I can find. And I don't care for this at all. This is a single cast handle piece with just pegs, and then this translucent piece that comes out. And I'm not even sure if that's supposed to be the way it is, but that is the way it is. I just think it looks goofy. I would have preferred to just gone all black and not put paint on there, you know, to be honest with you. I think this looks weird and strange, and I think this looks childish, to be honest with you. Getting to this guy. I actually like him a lot more than I thought I would in terms of Dino mode. Not without his issues, and we'll talk about him, but I do kind of dig it. So he's got light piping here. The blue would normally irritate me, but it doesn't really bother me, I gotta be honest. Head is on a swivel here, and then a hinge where the peg for the hinge tabs in. It makes a swivel, basically. And then the jaw opens to about there. Closes gold chrome on there, and then this is all gray plastic, not a lick of paint. We do have this, oh, I guess this is another little accessory thing. So, there, oh, it's a sword. Ooh, translucent and a little itty bitty thing that turns around, but that's a cool idea, and it's a clever way to hide it, so I'm on board with that. I like that much more than I like the gun. So that's there, and we got the silver chrome here, we got red paint there, and that's about it, and then gold chrome for the toes as far as the limbs go. Articulation wise, they are on a hinge up in there that hinges out, and then you get the swivel there, and then the elbow and the tilt, and it's decent range. The back, there's some good and bad. The back hips go out to there, which is actually a pretty good range, and that's on like a butterflied. It's just a double hinge. It's like a double hinge, and that works really well. And then you can even cheat and pull that out a bit if you want, you know, to take pictures or whatever you got to do. Paint, we got paint up there, and then the red stripe as discussed, and then you got the swivel there, and then the elbow ratcheted this way, which is good to go, and then nothing forward. So actually, maybe it's better articulation than I thought. I just didn't know about the full range of that ratchet. That gets you everything you need there. No complaints. Tail, you get a little tilt here, like a little puppy dog. We got green, red, blue paint there, very G1-esque. I can get behind that. I'm not sure it withstands the kind of test of time, and the paint is a little touch and go. Could have used a second coat on this blue here. It doesn't fill up all the way, but overall it's not bad. On a shelf you'll never notice it. So there that is. All in all, it's pretty decent. It's very like, I don't know, like very animated looking, you know. Real quick, I'll put them with, because he let me hold Snarl also, and it looks very animated. I think that for the combiner purposes, Sludge is a little bit smaller than he probably should be. I think that he looks smaller next to Snarl, even though there's, you know, all the neck and everything. But I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. And the only other thing that I want to mention that kind of irritates is, like, you messing with him, you had this urge to, like, try to bend his head down, but you can only go so far before it destroys the sculpt, and it's not really believable anymore. And the same with the tail. All right, now let's get him transformed. Now, I usually start in how they come in the box, but I don't know how this guy came in the box. This is how he was given to me in this mode, so this is the mode I'm going from. Split the tail, like many sludges. before him, Dinobots in general, I guess. And open up these back panels here. Disconnect these rear legs, and that should allow you to split the legs and bring them around, I think. Trying to be gentle because you know it's not mine. And then same on the other side. Alright, now you got some work to do on the legs, but it's pretty smart work. So fold the tail up, spin it around, push it flush, and then the tail tabs in to that piece. This comes around, folds in, and then tabs back into there. This piece here folds in and around and then folds back in on itself, all of which is pretty clever, I must say. And let's see here. That folds down, right? And then that folds up, right? I think. So that's pretty cool. Same on the other side. And then we'll do all this work too. Once again, so swivel that there, fold that in, clip that in, fold that down, bring it around, tab it in, bring this piece back around, doubling back on itself, and tab that in as well. And that's the legs, and I gotta say, that's pretty top shelf. That's really quite smart. Rotate this whole assembly around. You got to do the open chest bit, and I wonder if there you go. Open sesame. All right, this part has given me some trouble, but let's see if we can. This piece, it hinges right there, but there is chrome on these pegs, which probably weren't allotted for with the design, so you know it causes some problems in terms of tolerance. Fold the toe down, fold this around, plug that back in. So same on this side. Open that up, fold the arm around, swivel it, fold the toe down, hide it the best you can within the wing, and close it back up. Then these pieces come around, slide up, and tab back in to the body. Then you can fold the head down and around. This piece comes up and plugs in there. These shoulders come down, and they're on that double hinge, so you can have big shoulders or the smaller ones. The shorter ones. I think the shorter ones look better, given the overall aesthetic. I forgot the head. Bring the head out, then close that, then bring that forward. Alright, open that up, bring the fist out, close that back down. Same on the other side, fist out, back down, and there you go. Let's take a look. The head is on a ball joint. Pretty good articulation all the way around. It gets a little loose in like this one angle. Like it's stiff here. You turn it like this, and that's a little strange, isn't it? Light piping works just fine. I can't really show you, but It does work well. And red paint on in the middle there looks good. Nothing really, they got black paint there, but the chest looks so plain to me. Like if they would have painted those grates in there, you know, that probably would have looked a lot better. You do get the waist swivel, so that's good to go. No issues really whatsoever there. The wings do articulate out depending on how you want them. I cannot stand the design here kibble wise, so I would definitely have mine back and out of sight as much as possible. The shoulders are on this same double hinge system, but you still are fairly limited in how far you can go, which is a bummer. You know, there's a very wide degree of space that you just can't cover, so that sucks. Bicep swivel, ratcheted elbow, get you 90 degrees. Nothing for the wrist, which is a bummer. Hands open and close, no problem. Or the fingers, they're on a single pin, all 4 fingers, which is okay with me. Pelvis is painted well, no issues there. We got ratcheted universals for hips, and they're not ratcheted this way. That's fairly tight, as I'm sure is annoying you right now. How does that feel? But they are ratcheted out, and they are great ratchets. And the knees are ratcheted, and they get you a little bit past 90 degrees. The thigh swivel is just above the knee, so that works just fine on a bot like this. Not a lick of paint on the thighs. You get the same paint working for you down here, which does look nice. It does start to look a little bit like a rainbow, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It just looks kind of out of place because everything else is so plain. Ankle rocker and tilt, so that's pretty clever. And the back cleans up fairly well, given that it's sludge. You know, the way that they designed the head, it does fold in together fairly well. And last but not least, he does hold his accessories with no problem whatsoever, and even the design of the gun is designed well, where he holds it fairly flush. As for size comparisons, there he is with a Deluxe and a Voyager, so he's just about Voyager size, a little bit bigger, and a Masterpiece. So I think he'll work well with a Chug collection. Final thoughts, there's a lot of issues here. There's limited articulation in both the shoulders and the wrists. There's some unsightly kibble in the wings. The back does clean up fairly well. The legs clean up tremendously. He is rather back heavy, and because the whole ankle tilt and rocker are at the very ball of the, not even the ball, like the, I don't know what that part is, the part right before the toes. He does have some stability issues in the more dynamic poses. As you can see, I can't really utilize his ankle rocker here, or he wouldn't be able to stand. Let me see if I can't illustrate that. You see? It immediately throws him off balance, but like that, he's fine. But that's a design issue. That's because all the articulation within the foot is at the toe, which is just not ideal, and it doesn't help this guy's cause. There's also some minimalistic paint. It could have really used some more paint. That really would have made a lot of this piece pop. And some of the plainness just makes it end up looking cheap, like the gun and the chest, and you know, it just ends up looking very plain. It doesn't stand out. But with all of those negative things being said, oh, and all of it, like this sword is just this is an accident waiting to happen here. It's a cool design and everything, but this is just waiting to be broken. I'm extremely scared of this. I can't wait to wrap this thing back up, at least the sword. But I have to say, I like him more than I thought I would.
Laura, I played with that ToyWorld Sludge, and I kind of like him.
No more Dinobots.
In all seriousness, I really thought I was going to hate him. Like, I wasn't interested in this set whatsoever, and I'd completely written it off. But having it in hand and messing with it a bit, I have to say that, like, it's really a good representation of ToyWorld as a whole. ToyWorld is really hit or miss. As an example, their wide load is one of the most aggravating figures that I have messed with this year. At the same time, their Goldbug is one of the most fun figures that I've messed with this year, and surprisingly good. So this guy is a bit of both. The kibble, the lack of articulation and stuff like that is definitely lends itself to the negative aspects of ToyWorld, but then the way that the feet and legs transform, it lends itself to some of the things that ToyWorld really seems to nail. I think that here's how you can justify this purchase if you feel the need to own this thing. If you want your Chug collection to have a more animated looking, animated feeling Dinobot set, especially in Dinosaur mode, this set will do probably better than the G Creations. Now if you want a more updated look, G Creations are better. The plastic quality on both is pretty good, but I have to say that the Sludge overall is a bit more well done in the G Creations. Not to say that the transformation, like in the legs, ToyWorld doesn't knock it out of the park, because it does, but just overall. So I think there is a place for this guy within your collection depending on the parameters of your collection. And also if you wanted one set of Dinobots to combine and one not to, I'd probably have G Creations combined and then have this guy separate. But if you want an updated look, go G Creations. If you want more of a cartoon look, keep these guys in Dinosaur mode and you should be good to go. Outside of that, I can't recommend it. But that's how I can make it work for you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.